Hi there, I'm Pastor Bill from Open Door Baptist Church in Morehead City, and I'm glad that you've decided to come back for another word of encouragement. This is a daily video series that we've been putting out to help us all to put our thoughts and our minds and our footing back on the sure foundation of God's life-giving word. Especially during these days when we feel so mired down and stuck or on the slippery slope of pandemics and civil unrest in our country. And so today we're going to gain encouragement from an encounter with Jesus as detailed in the book of Mark. In the book of Mark, Jesus at this time in chapter 9 is in his traveling ministry, and a man comes to him whose son has been possessed by an evil spirit. And after the man describes how this evil spirit affects his son, he says this to Jesus beginning in verse 22. He says, "But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." And Jesus said to him, "If you can, all things are possible for one who believes." Immediately, the father of the child cried out and said, "I believe, help my unbelief." And when Jesus saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit and said to it, "You mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again." And after crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. Well, I hope that during times of despair or during times of doubt in your life, when you yourself are even struggling to gain the energy to fight for your faith, I hope that this type of passage gives you encouragement, because Jesus does not look at this man when he says, "I believe, help my unbelief." Jesus does not look at him and say, "Oh, you have unbelief? Well, then you're not worthy of this healing," and walk away. No, Jesus takes compassion on the man. He says, all things are possible for those who have faith. And the man says, "I have a little bit, but would you, Jesus, help my unbelief?" We should all stand like and take the example and take the model of this man and come to Jesus and say, "I may have a little bit of faith, but I also have doubt and unbelief and untrust. I don't act on the faith that I have. Will you help me with my unbelief?" And Jesus will take compassion on you. And in his own power and grace and mercy, he will help your unbelief. He will heal you, and he will rise you up. Again, this is the model of how powerful and gracious and merciful our Savior is. Well, I know that this is encouraging to you and to your faith today, and I hope that you will come back tomorrow for another word of encouragement.